internet. It's been a hot minute since I last filmed a thing. I don't even remember what all I mentioned in my last video. I believe I mentioned that I was moving. That happened. I moved, and then I had a bunch of other stuff come up and happen, and I just haven't been able to get back to YouTube. It's been like a month and a half, but I'm back. I miss it, and I wanted to go ahead and kick off December with a bunch of videos because I'm super behind. And also, you know, it's coming up on the end of the year, and the end of the year videos are my favorites to do, so I didn't want to just jump in at the last second with those. So today I'm going to do my December TBR. I'll also mention I'm participating in the 'Tis the Season-a-thon, which is happening right this second. I did not make a TBR video for that, but I will put a picture of my Bookstagram post here, because since that's happening right this second, I'm not gonna really talk about those in this video. I wanted to make a TBR video for that, and I didn't get a chance to do it. So, but that's happening. But the rest of the month is wide open for just me trying to catch up on as many books as I possibly can. So without further ado, let's get into my TBR, and I'm going to start with what I'm currently reading. So, my audiobook that I'm currently listening to is One Dark Throne by Kendara Blake. This is the second book in the Three Dark Crowns series, I guess. I'm not sure if it has a different series name. But I have been rereading the first two books so that way I can read the third book, which is Two Dark Reigns, because I felt like I didn't remember enough to be able to jump into that book, and I was definitely right. So I am in the middle of listening to this. I am about a third of the way into it by now. Almost a third of the way into it, and I've really been enjoying the audiobooks for this series. I am also currently in the middle of Daughter of Smoke and Bone by Laini Taylor. This is the first book in the Daughter of Smoke and Bone trilogy, and this was one of the books on my top 10 list of books to read this year that I never got around to, so I started it last month, and I'll talk about it in my December wrap-up, but so far I'm kind of iffy on it. But I'm not very far into it, so I'm going to give it a chance. But currently in the middle of this one. I don't even really know how to describe what this book is about. I don't know if I have a full grasp on what it's about yet, but it's about angels and demons. It's kind of strange, so I'm going to leave it at that. So I have several other books that I would hopefully like to get to this month. Several of them are physical, and I have quite a stack of audiobooks I'd like to listen to as well that I have on hold through Overdrive. So I'm going to start with audiobooks. The first one I'm going to mention is Crazy Rich Asians by Kevin Kwan. I have been wanting to read this basically since I saw the movie, and I've had the audiobook on hold for that long and I still haven't gotten to it. But from the way it looks, I should get to it this month. This book is an adult contemporary story about a girl who basically discovers that her boyfriend is rich, and they're going to Singapore because his best friend is getting married and chaos ensues. I really enjoyed the movie. And I'm looking forward to reading the book so that way I can continue on in the series. So, but I've heard that the ending is different, so I definitely gotta read the book first. I would anyway. But I'm looking forward to finally being able to dive into this one. I would also finally like to listen to The Voyage of the Dawn Treader by C.S. Lewis. I have had this on my TBR for the last couple of months. I feel like every time I get the audiobook, I also have like 3 other audiobooks, and then I don't get to listen to it before it goes away. So I would really like to listen to this one though. I was hoping I'd be able to finish the Narnia series by the end of the year, but I don't think that's going to happen. I don't remember a ton about The Voyage of the Dawn Treader, so I'm looking forward to finally being able to listen to that as well. And the last audiobook I would like to listen to this month is The Queen of the Tearling by Erica Johansson. This is another book that was on my top 10 list for the year and I didn't get to it. And to be honest, I don't know a whole lot about what this one's about. I know it's an adult high fantasy, and that's really all I know. This is one of the few books that was on that I had left to, I think this is the only book that I had left on my top 10 list that the audiobook was available. So I decided I was going to take the audiobook route for this one, and hopefully I enjoy it. On to the physical books I would like to read. My top priority after I finish Daughter of Smoke and Bone is Vengeful by V.E. Schwab. This is the sequel to Vicious, which is one of my probably top 3 favorite books of the year. And after I read Vicious earlier this year, this became one of my most anticipated books of the year, and I haven't gotten a chance to read it yet. So I've got to read this book before the end of the year. This has got to make it onto the list of priorities. I have to read this book. I'm really excited to read this book. I've heard it's really good. Actually, I saw it won the Goodreads Choice Awards, which is really great, and I'm so excited, but I gotta read this book. So this is a huge priority. It will get read this month. Another book that I would really like to read this month is Puddin' by Julie Murphy. This is the sequel to Dumplin', and I have not had a chance to read this yet this year. This is a new release this year, but with the Dumplin' movie coming out in the next couple of days, I have a feeling that I'm going to be in the mood for this, so I think it will be a good time to read it, because it'll kind of refresh my memory on what happened in Dumplin', since it's been a year or so since I read it. And then I can dive into the sequel, which follows, I think, Millie. Yeah. And I'm really excited about it. And the last book on my TBR, if I get through all of those magically, is The Language of Thorns by Leigh Bardugo. This is basically a collection of fairy tales that children from the Grisha world would have listened to when they were kids. And the reason I'm putting this on my TBR is because I've had it on like 3 different TBRs this year and have never gotten to it, and I would like to. It's a short book, it's very pretty, it's got illustrations inside. I just haven't gotten to it, and I would really like to, and I'm hoping that I can fit this short little book in somewhere before the year's over so I can have accomplished that. But that is it for my December TBR and kind of like my end of the year TBR. Let me know down in the comments if you've read any of these books and what you thought, and hopefully I will not disappear from the internet for as long as I did this past time. So sorry about that, but thanks to those of you that have stuck around. I will see you guys next time with another video.